Life. What is it? As a geneticist, I would point you towards this molecule, DNA. Watson and Crick called it the secret of life, and that's because this molecule has the ability to make copies of itself. And these copies get passed from generation to generation. And this has been happening since the origins of life. Every living thing has DNA. The extraordinary diversity of life that we see around us comes from the fact that different organisms have slightly different versions of the DNA molecule. In the case of humans, our DNA codes for about 22,000 genes, and these genes are organised onto chromosomes. The human genome contains 23 pairs of chromosomes plus the mitochondrial DNA, and throughout this series we'll be featuring a new video every day looking at each of these one by one. So if we imagine for a moment that these are some human chromosomes, then chromosome 1 is the biggest one. Human chromosome 1 contains about 2,000 genes, and these are arranged along the chromosome. So you're going to have some bits that are packed with loads of genes and might have some big gaps in between, but these are all along the chromosome, and these genes do different jobs. For example, one of the genes on chromosome 1 is a gene for the amylase enzyme, which digests starch, and amylase is in your saliva. And different genes along the chromosome have different jobs to do and different times and places when they should be doing them. So you have genes involved in digestion, you've got genes involved in growth and heart muscles and all of these different functions in your body. And one thing that the chromosome structure does is it doesn't lie there in a straight line. It's actually looped around like spaghetti. And you have some genes that are hidden in this structure and they're not active, and other ones that are turned on. And so the chromosome structure helps the right genes be turned on in the right time and place. But there's something else as well that the chromosome structure helps, and that is that all-important process of cell division, when the DNA needs to be copied and sent to the next generation. And with 22,000 genes, that's a bit of a mess. But instead, if the genes are on chromosomes, the job gets a lot simpler. So if we're partitioning out these chromosomes between daughter cells, we keep one chromosome 1 there, send the other one to a new cell, keep one chromosome 2, send the other to a new cell, and the same thing for the other chromosomes. So instead of having this big messy job to do, we've got a comparatively simple job to do. So this accurate and faithful copying of DNA has carried this genetic information from generation to generation right through all living organisms. And you could say that this is the secret of life.